What do you feel are issues that you think need to be addressed?
So on the higher register, sometimes I can push a little bit. And this one, the more it goes, I feel like my larynx goes up a little bit. So it's either I take a little bit of more time to breathe, or touch it, or I scream.
Yep. We all go through that. Great. That's kind of what I saw. I see there's a little bit of not enough hooked into the support, and I feel then that you're stacking the air, because what we have to do is actually release it all out before we take another breath in. And if we keep going, because we're getting higher and higher, and then you will have a tendency to maybe go a little on the sharp side, and because there's no place for your larynx to drop down and to release that into your body. So how do we fix that? Yes, the pooch. Pooch. I'm going to introduce you to your pooch. And now when we're doing the runs, we have to hook in to our support. Even if we are doing runs, we still have to be anchored down here, because if we're up here, there's no control over the runs, over the voice, and also then we will try to start to place runs with our throat instead of with our support. And that'll get you tired, and then that'll have this lift up and go when you're going for the high notes instead of. So to go up, we actually have to go down. So that's why I'm going to bring my dear little friend the Pillow here. Mr. Pillow, I'm going to introduce you to him. So I don't know if you guys can all see back there. Unfortunately, the wall's this way. What the Pillow does is helps you just while you're training. Instead of going up like this, and when you do that, we have to try to think more like a monkey, in a way, to sing into the back and to breathe into the back instead of breathing up like this, which is we call stacking breath or whatever. So I want you to try. I try to bring a pretty pillow today. This goes into the small of the back, right here. Yeah, beautiful. Right there. Perfect. Yeah. And now I want you to, when you breathe in, to feel that. Do you feel there? When you take the breath? Back here. I'm going to feel that? Instead of, it's actually down. It's a lot lower than we think. And preparation of breath really is, in my opinion, 90% of singing. If we prepare the breath and inhale the right way, then we can just go, then we're ready to sing. It's like if we were to talk and we go, hi, how are you? And if you keep doing that, then you're not going to be able to talk right, as opposed to, hi, how are you? Also, the exhale of the breath is the same way. So we're preparing the breath. That's the first part. It all has to go out because when we let the air out, it allows the diaphragm and the larynx to drop. Does that make sense? So if we keep on breathing up and up, there's not a relaxation into the singing. So what I want you to do, where did we start, Rachel?
Do you want to do the slow part first? Or?
Yeah, let's try that, because that might help you find this. So I don't want you to push it necessarily, but don't let it drop. You know what I mean? And when you breathe, there's a breath into it. And when I say breathing in, it's a slight pickup here. So it's like this, like a curving. Does that make sense? Okay. One step at a time. Start with this. Beautiful voice, by the way. Preparation of that breath. Do you think it was good?
Probably not.
It could be better.
Okay.
And when I say preparation of the breath, I want you to try to, you have a little body, but you don't have a little voice. Okay. And we need to support that voice with that body. So we need to hook into this. Yeah, sorry. When I say hook into it, I think of it as a kind of a scoop here. Ah, ah. You feel that? Ah.
Me, I think.
Yeah, it's okay. Here, I'll let you feel. Ah, ah. So when we take the breath, we start with air. That's what I'm trying to get to. Instead of air comes first, then we phonate. So it's a quick thing, but the air has to be followed by the sound, not the sound followed by the air. Yeah? Yep. Just a hook, like you're scooping. Each note now. Each note, I want you to feel like you're scooping up. Ah, ah, ah. Is that a good? And now, okay, great. Can we keep going on? Yeah. Put it in. Now when we're going down, the last line, when we go down, we actually have to go up. So we have to go up and we have to think up with the air. So it's and that is all here in the mask that we carry the voice. And the Italians will call it many different things, but I call these guys the navigators. So if we have a face that's kind of not animated, then we can't guide the voice. And so I would like you to try to think about girare, the Italians call it girare, turning the voice. And that all comes from here, this movement here. So instead of we always have to keep it here, kind of focused in the front. So can we try right with the prendi again at the beginning? Okay. Yep, sorry. Banging you around here.
Okay. When the
Yeah, is that okay?
yeah.
You can feel it now. So when we're conscious of that, that's step number one. So then how do we do that? You have to let go of all that air out. You're stacking it a little bit because legato is very difficult to sing. Legato, we think that we need to hold our breath to sing legato. But actually legato is a constant recirculation of air. And legato comes through the air, not the lack of it. Does that make sense? So when we're doing this, you have to do something to break it. So try walking around when you're doing it. How's that? Take your shoes off, be comfortable. Yep. This is a relaxed environment. Good. So when you feel like you're stacking, do a movement to free your body, to give it a little, and you can do this in auditions too. All of you know you don't have to just stand there. You know, you are free to move. The stage is yours to take. So if you feel like you're getting like that, do that and walk with me when we do that. The second verse, how about that? The second stroke? Qui. This way. Yeah, see, you're going to think it's bad, but you have to keep
because I don't hear it as much.
Exactly, because it's going out there. That's why when we listen to ourselves, the sound goes back here. Hard palate. Do for me. Do you feel there? Now go. No, it's okay. No, you're moving. You're moving the position. So I want you to do the. Imagine you're throwing up with air when you go to the bottom note. Do a portamento into it.
Okay.
Like, with air. There you go. Feel that place? Do it again. Now go. Give me a more open vowel. Ra, not re, but ra. Still. And that movement is all here, like you know when you teenagers have braces and they have the rubber bands back here. And I want you to think like each note you're stretching those rubber bands up. So not down. The movement is up, not down. That's it. Do you feel that play? I know. It sounds like that big, doesn't it? But we went a little flat, did we? So that movement, that's how I want you to really work on some of your stuff, is with this and sloppy, legato, all through it. Because that will help you find where the air comes from. before you put the words in. And that's going to help you find the placement of it here as well as here. So what was that line?
Do the melisma?
Yeah, do you want to do that? Can you try that on a VU?
That one we just started.
Okay. And the VU starts here. How's that feel?
Long.
Yeah, it is long. It is long. Does that feel a little like you're not stacking and your larynx isn't coming up enough? So what is the word on that? C major. The word?
Onesto.
So start with a V for me, and I want the V like, you know you're at a party, and you want to yawn, but you don't want anybody to see it. You know that feeling? Up here? Yeah, here. So that's where the V is, not these guys here. These molars, I want apart. So a party. Oh gosh. Either that or somebody, there's a director that you really don't like, and he's just told you to stand on your head, and you go, sure, yeah. Yeah, that feeling. That's where the comes from, right? And then to the and then the word. Honest.
I can't remember the notes. What's that?
Sorry. And it's allowed, you're allowed to go in chest there.
Yeah?
Stop. Yeah, I know. It's called tension. It's called 10 o'clock in the morning. Can we try that one more time? Do you feel where that went now? Does it feel more forward? Does it feel different? Does it feel more hard palate, soft palate? What are you a person that goes on sensation or by sound?
I try to go by sensation.
Good, okay. That's a very important thing, first and foremost. Learn how you learn. If you go by sensation, great. If you go by sound, great. Or if you go by both, fine. But know how you learn and how the physiology works for you. Very, very important thing very early on to figure out. So, great. You go by sensation. Party.
Can you start just a little bit before?
Sure, whatever you want to do.
Okay. Wait.
It's okay. It's okay. Listen, you have no shoes on. It's a comfy atmosphere.
Okay. Okay, yeah. No, that's not. Yes. Yeah, okay.
That's it? Okay.
Yeah, can
Whatever.
you start at
Wherever you want to start, just tell Rachel.
Is Sancho?
Sancho?
Party. Ooh, dear. How's that feel?
Better.
Yeah?
It feels like the low C is more resonant, but I'm wondering, because I hear it more, does it mean it doesn't?
Not necessarily. No, it's projecting quite well.
Okay.
The first time, it was beautiful too, and you have to know that there's always more than one option. You can go into chest or voix mix if you want to, or you can keep it all head too. But that is your job to figure out, okay, today maybe I don't have as much chest, maybe I need to keep it in head, or today, wow, I feel like I can really go for it and do full chest. But you have to see how the voice feels each day and how it relates. But sopranos like you, I would like to see you carry the head voice down more as opposed to bringing the chest up, because you are such a high-flying coloratura. We should registrate the voice from the top down, not like a mezzo, more from the bottom up. Does that make sense? Good. Do we have a minute? Do we have a minute to do a little bit of the coloratura? Yes.
Is somebody timing?
I don't know.
I don't know.
It's 10:24 now.
Are we done?
Can somebody volunteer to do that?
I will do that when I'm done. I'm after.
Wonderful.
I have a laptop, I can see.
Wonderful. How long have we gone?
I don't know when you started. It's 10:26 now.
Okay, we got a few more minutes. Let's do some coloratura. So what do you think when you're doing coloratura? Or just is it like a Hail Mary, please? Let it count. Is that usually right?
I try to not bring, like when I go down, because it keeps going up, but down every time. So to not bring everything like the support, to not to.
Yeah, I
guess I
understand.
can speak English.
No, it's okay. My French is not so good. I would like you to think when you're singing coloratura that it's all on the same level.
That's what I meant.
That they're all here, they're all in a line, and even if it's going like this, the movement is here, not here. So it's all like those rubber bands that I talk about again, or a slight relift each instead of and jawing it, because that will tire you and it would also cause your air to stack. So just think of it like little clothespins on a clothesline, or marbles kind of rolling around in your mouth with air. So where are we? Same thing with the inhale the breath. That high note, I saw you go up for it. Yeah? You done it's all in the same line. And when we go for that, actually bend your knees a little bit can we start right at the same place, Rachel? And I want you to think of it. Not moving anything. All right here, and the movement is here, not here. Right? When you're going for that high note, think, like you have a clock, think 2 o'clock here. Hands going this way. You're singing back to the back of the theater instead of off. Because I feel it loses, the resonators don't stay in line. And that with this music, you really have to keep all the resonance in the same line. Because if one note kind of pops out of that line, it really becomes to us, our ear hears it. We go, oh, it wasn't like it was bad. It just wasn't in line with the rest of them. And that's so important with this bel canto, with this type of music, is that everything has to stay in the same context. Yeah, sure. And relax. I know. I don't bite.
That's not you. It's just.
It's just it. Yeah. They walk. Yeah. Good. Nope. I didn't like that breath at all. There you go. Stacking. Down to go up.
Where?
First one?
Good. Nope. Do you feel it? Yep, you're just getting tighter. So how that. Yep, let's flip you over. How do you know that? Same place? Don't stack it. Good. Yeah? Do you feel that? Yeah, a little bit? Okay. One more thing I want you to think about is this breath. I really feel that your breath is very shallow when you're taking these breaths. And I want you to think of more, not a, these are short lines, right? This is bel canto. So you don't need to suck all the air out of the room. It's just, and go. So if I were to say to that lovely gentleman back there, hi, how are you? Can you do that for me? Like you're saying, you know.
Hi, how are you?
No, he's got to hear you.
Hi.
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 There you go.
Hi.
So what do you do to prepare for that breath?
Hi.
Yeah, you don't go,
Hi.
right? Hi, how are you?
Hi, how
breath
are you?
Go.
Hi.
Same thing. Not hi.
Hi. Hi.
And where were we? Emil.
I get it.
Yeah, it's okay. Hi, how are you?
Hi. Hi.
You see what I mean? You feel it now.
Yeah.
You feel how grounded it has to be down here, not up here. And that's where working, I said, with the pillow, that's going to help you remind you that it's this, and not this. Because when we're here, we're cut off from these guys back here, right? So if we're in, you're obliged, if you're standing like this, to breathe like this. And you can't, because you can't get into here. And it's silly, you think that you're going to be standing like a monkey in a little bit, but it really is just it's a planting down, and that's the preparation right there. Starting here, initiating here, and that's why I use like, hi, how are you? Because you can't go, hi, how are you? You can't project if you don't have the support. And it just goes from here to here. Yeah? Does that help? I hope so. Focus on the breathing. And you can even, when you take a breath, keep your hand here. And if it moves, you're doing something wrong. Yeah, there you go. See? And it's, see that for me? There you go. Lifting the molars when you take that breath in. There you go.
When I do that though, I must be doing wrong because I feel like pulling or
It'll
like,
naturally
yeah.
relax when you go. Did you feel like it was pulling when you were speaking that way?
No.
Hi.
Hi. Hi.
See, now when that breath comes in, the larynx automatically drops. It's a shallow, it's a hollow sounding breath. Not a. Do you hear the difference in that? And when we take that, it's a relaxation outward and downward of the larynx. It's a natural relaxation. I'm not pushing it by any means. I do not believe in that. It's just a hi, how are you? Yeah? Instead of small difference, but it's going to make a big difference with your voice, I think.
Thank you.
Great. Thanks, Rachel. Next!
Thanks, Rachel.
Who's next? Rachel. Any questions? Okay. Thank you. So, what are you working on at the moment that you think needs a little?
In this
particular aria, there it goes up to G and A, and these are the notes I dislike the most. So I have a disease
It's
on
not
those
a
notes.
disease.
Probably other notes too, but mainly those ones that I get worried, and then it just never wins. And also the end, I feel like me too. I just start breathing, and then I end up screaming that B at the end, which is unfortunate.
No, okay, we all go through it. And so you want to do something towards the end?
The end and the recit too, like they're both,
Okay.
Yeah, I think that's
Perfect.
what.
So let's start with the recit. Is that what you want? And then
Just
we can
go.
we can skip.
Sounds
You stop when you've done enough of the recit. How about that? And then we can go to the end when you want to.
Sounds good. So let's start before I stop after those big runs. Before the no. Yeah, we can start at the beginning of the recit, and then we'll just stop right here. Okay.
So all of you guys that are going to sing too,
Stop here. Okay.
if there's stuff that you want me to focus on, just tell me, okay? And you guys just do it because I want to make sure that you get enough out of your 20 minutes. Good. Go. Well, that's because that's a little phrase. You don't need that much air. That's just a little phrase. You don't need to. It's not like you're saying Costa Diva that first line. It's like, yeah, and there's nothing under yet.
I know.
Yeah, so since we're here.
Yeah, I'm already taking off my shoes.
Good, yeah. Oh, I went comfy today too. So, okay, I see what you're doing. You are sucking it all. You're just going for like. But when we take a breath like that, you have no place to go. You're stuck because we need mobility here in the ribs as well as here. So if I take a breath, is that it now? Okay, this looks like what you did. Exaggerated. I hated when my teacher did things like that. It's exaggerated. But you see what I mean? You're stuck here because you think you need all that air.
No.
Good. Honestly, it's a little phrase. It's a nice little phrase. And it's right in the heart of meaty part of your voice where you can spin that line. So how do we do that? Easy enough. We don't double stack. We don't. We take one breath in. Preparation of breath. 90% of singing, preparation of breath. Now when I say take the breath in, as I said to the lovely Valerie, this will automatically drop and relax when we take the proper breath in. Proper breath should sound a bit like Darth Vader. There you go. And this automatically lifts. Feel that? It should feel like air kind of coming over your tongue. You should feel that air. Yeah. There you go. And try for me to see how much support you need. Let's try it on. Now when I say I want you to think about this. Yes, that's how we initiate the air. Nope.
Okay, yeah.
You see what I mean?
Yeah.
And there's that, as I mentioned, the party, and you're, that's how high. you to just a little scooping up.
Oh yeah, I
You
get it.
feel that?
Yeah, I do.
Yeah. So each one, even if it's a small little phrase like that, each one has to be, each note always constantly has to be picked up with air, because we as singers get into the habit of, I have the position, and I'm going to sing in that position. Okay, but we don't feed it then with air. It's just stuck in that position, and then you run out of air because you're not feeding it. So it's always this, everything we sing has to have that constant feeding, breath supported, everything, because we're not a violin. You know, we can't just, you know, we can't do that with our vocal cords. We have to use our body. Okay, so let's try it again. First, I'd like you to try it with the and then into na. Okay.
Oh yeah.
Yep, now sing it. It's going to be so much easier.
Oh yeah, once again. Oh
Don't
yeah.
stop.
Oh,
Don't stop it.
You just told me. I hear I cheated on the last one.
You'll feel it now. Let it all out.
I like that.
Oh, you should. That makes a big difference in the resonance of your voice, because it's anchored now.
Okay.
As opposed to, just for yourself, do it the way you were doing it before. So you can feel the difference, because I think you are a person that goes on sensation.
Yes.
Yes. So do it the wrong way, the way you were doing it before.
I like your way better.
I think in the long run, it'll get you through a whole opera. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
If you sang without support for a whole opera, you're going to come to the end of the night extremely tired.
Yes.
So each one, it's always a constant. You know you're probably too young for this. The little paddle boards with the ball on it. Paddle ball, you know that it's always constantly. You have to keep the ball in the air by ah 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 ah. And the way that I find that is with either the but it's a very strong It's not a it's this here. Grit your teeth. Right here. Now let this relax. Yes, that much. Now try it again. Just go and sing the line. Okay, so let's look at some of that, the ending, the fun high notes, right? But it's the same principle. And I'm going to tell you that, that will be your passaggio. That's the G, that lovely G that you don't like, is your passaggio. And I can bet you, without even having seen you sing it, that you over-open on that G.
Oh, I do.
Yeah.
Guilty.
Oh, guilty. Why do you do that? It's a passaggio note.
I feel like I can't do anything without it.
Okay. We're going to have a talk about passaggio because we're mostly women here, right? Yeah. Passaggio is a real sticky thing. And first and foremost, everybody, you all need to figure out where your passaggio breaks are, because every voice is different. Mine is an E natural to a B lower, the lower E natural to B natural. Oh, the B natural there. That's my first break. And then mine has just gone up a half step, so I'm an A natural up at the top. A flat or an A natural. So a G is very common break for a mezzo. Very common. F sharp, G, depending upon how low of a mezzo you are. So, passaggio. What do we do in the passaggio? One wants to push more, right? Don't we all want to do that? We just want to go, oh, I'm going to push my way through the passaggio. But the passaggio, even for tenors, is the same as the soprano. It is like an hourglass. And to get through that hourglass, if we were to push, it's going to break, right? We have to thin the voice a little bit to allow it to pass, and that's why it's called passaggio. Now we have passaggio down here, and we have passaggio up here. Now we have to do the same thing down here as we have to do up here. Pretty simple. It's not brain surgery, right? But we all feel like we want to make it into something, and we want to feel something, and we want to, and it's really simple. You have to take your foot off the gas to go through the passaggio. There's no way about it. And also, we have to think more narrow here in the mouth, not narrow like this way, narrow this way, still with the molars open, but not this, it's this.
Oh, okay.
Because we go into the bottom passaggio. I'm going up here, not here. To go here, where's it? Can I do have a, up to a G, like a E, F, G? G is here. See what I mean? Did you guys see that? So the height comes from the molars moving this way. Each note above your passaggio, you need more height in these molars, right? This way. So it's almost like this is unhinged. It's free. The bottom jaw shouldn't be too involved in one singing. That is not where the voice is produced. The voice resonates here, the voice resonates here, and in the larynx. So to get through that G, we actually have to narrow it. We have to close the mouth. And I think of a plate sometimes this way, vertical. Have you ever watched Pavarotti sing? Yes. You see the preparation that he does when he goes through the passaggio. It's always, or Leontine Price, prime example of it. She wound up for those notes. She would just go, right? And you just see it in Pavarotti too. You just go, yeah. But his wind up was opening knees, gritting knees back. Like when I said, clench your teeth and then let this drop. Feel that how high it is? It's like that Reach toothbrush commercial, you know? It feels really high, but they always have to be here because this is how you drive the voice, not this way. Because you'll have issues with tuning and you'll have issues with fatigue. So this is the more, I don't know what's the word for it, but not conservative. Boy, I can't think. Some days I just can't find the words.
Safe?
Concise way to do. Safe, concise, you know, the least amount of air used. So that said, okay, we're going to find that passaggio for you. So can we do some arpeggios, maybe up to C, E, G, C, D, D?
Starting, yes.
A little higher, maybe a lot. Yeah. So now, what did we do? Right? Each one? Now, do you feel those a little? Each one, I want you to go not only here, but and do a little slide, a little portamento, because that'll help you remember. The portamento is to help you to remember the air, put the air through it.
dangerous. I mean, that was fine, I think. But
That's
it's
good.
starting to be dangerous. Yeah.
Dangerous, like.
Like, oh my God, I feel that G's coming soon.
Oh yeah, I think we're there. Are we not there?
Yeah, G.
I tricked you. Let's try an A flat.
Oh. Okay.
Now I want you to go. A. Yeah, let's just go back to the G. Now do the same thing, and I want you to see what your mouth looks like when you do that. Can you see? You move it where you need. Yep. You see how open it isn't?
Yeah.
Okay. That is something that you need to work on through the passaggio. And that's how we get through the passaggio. We don't go. That's dangerous. It is very dangerous because the passaggio needs to narrow. Then each note you go above it, if you were to go, can we do an A natural? Now A natural, we're going to go. You need each note above your passaggio. You need a little more height this way.
Okay.
This way? Not
Alright. Okay.
Can you see? Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah, I felt it.
At 2 o'clock.
Yeah, yeah.
I'll buy that all day long. All day long.
Okay.
And let's just do the B flat just for Same thing. So each note above is going to be a little higher. When I say 2 o'clock, higher this way.
Okay.
So it's like your jaw and your bottom jaw kind of unhinges and drops down and back. Feel that?
Oh yeah, I get it.
Mm.
Okay.
Because that gets these up. You feel how high when you do that, down and back? There you go. That's the height that I'm talking about for your B flat and B natural.
Okay.
I don't hear any problems with that.
Yeah, I went well, I think.
And let's try the B natural then. How's that?
Not bad, but not as good as the B flat, huh?
It's okay, but the
Yeah.
B natural is then for a mezzo-soprano, B natural is your next passaggio normally, and that's going into a more of a whistly tone.
Yeah.
So it's going to feel weird if you can do a hum.
Oh my God.
You feel where that is?
It's basically in my brain. Yeah.
That's where B natural goes. That's whistled. It is in your brain. It's like
Yeah.
way.
Yeah.
And lift up from it. Hum. Now you gotta get the air to it. Yeah?
And then, okay.
Uh-huh. Uh-huh. It's really high, isn't it?
It is high.
It's like here high.
Yes. Yes.
Do you feel that position?
Yes.
So do you want to try to sing something with it?
Yeah, maybe because I guess I will. Maybe
Page 85. Off un gioco.
Off and joke.
It's the same. I know this I'm throwing a lot at you,
No, it's good. I love
but
it.
it's all here. It's in that box, that Pavarotti box.
Okay.
Uh-huh. Uh-huh.
Should I just start? Okay.
muscle memory is really, really, really hard to undo. So we'll just do that run.
Okay.
That run. And I just want you to think of it. Do not put your hand here. Take your hand. Do not shove that hand down. And don't worry about the sound. This is now retraining muscles. Okay? Oh, you shoved it down, didn't you?
Like
This way.
lift this way instead.
Ah.
I'm allowed to do that. Oh yeah, I get it. I cheated again, huh?
It's okay. It takes time. Let's do it on a move.
Okay.
See that position? Okay, that's not about, I don't want you to sound like Minnie Mouse there. It's about finding the position with air and undoing the muscles and saying, don't do that. So if you have anything,
Yeah, that's harder, yeah.
or whichever's easier for you.
Okay.
And then open when you get to that high note. This way up. It's getting there. It wasn't shut
Better
down.
than it was.
It wasn't shut down. But now we have to remember when we're doing this, you have to put air through it too. Right?
Yes.
So, ah. Ah, 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 ah. Yeah, I know, it's hard. Can we try that run actually down the octave? No, just what she just did, step down an octave. And I want you to feel what it feels like down there. And then try to replicate that up at the top because it's going to be the same. Okay?
Yes. So do I articulate this on every downbeat? So not on the.
However often you want to. In bel canto I usually do, if it's a hard run and I want to re-emphasize each one to find the placement of it. Because there is a little lean on those leading tones.
So that would happen on the, okay.
And that also allows you, gives you a split second to re-articulate here, right? Instead of, I have the position, I'm going to hold the position, and I'm going to feed it with breath, but I really have the position, I'm going to keep it here. And then you're stuck.
Yes.
You see what I mean? It's two parts to the puzzle because you have to articulate it here, but you have to articulate it here. And they're attached. So it's like a puppet, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah?
Do you
feel it?
Yeah.
Now let's try it up the octave. Same position. See how you weren't open that much.
Comes back.
Do you like it?
Yeah, I like actually yes.
Does it make sense?
It does make sense.
I
And it
want
feels more aligned.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
That is this type of music. You have to do that because if you shove that down, as I said, the resonators are going to not sound the same, and it's going to sound out of that line.
Yes.
Because it all has to be like marbles. Right?
Yes.
And it all has to be like you're stirring soup. You know? It's just, is that time? Great.
Okay.
So I want you to practice in front of a mirror.
I will.
And you have to think about the but not here. This is going to be your front. Yeah. And when you do that, right? You feel that?
Yes.
Well, here to here. Here to skip everything else.
Okay.
You have no bottom jaw. Great job. Really wonderful. Beautiful. Yeah. Next. time now that you sang a little bit?
Sure. Yes.
Let's try. Let's give you another chance because I know you guys are all sitting here for a bit, and that's not fair.
Okay. Second. Yes, please.
Yeah. I see you. Okay, and I'm gonna sing. Okay. Yeah, a little bit. I want you to temperament.
Right. See, that's what I have.
And tightness.
Right.
Two separate things.
Okay.
Like tension.
The character.
Yes. Two separate things.
Okay.
Right? Okay? I've had a very hard time in my life doing the same thing. That's why I didn't sing Tosca until I was like well into my late 30s, almost 40. Where do we find temperament from? Here. And from here. If a lady is angry, come scoglio, right? She's pissed off, right? We have that here. We're not. Also, when you come to somebody and you say, I hate you so much, you don't go, I hate you so much, right? It's all from, I hate you, I'm going to kill you, right? But what do we do with our face, too? I'm not going, I hate you, I'm going to kill you. It is. And this is where we control the temperament, but we also control the vowels, we control everything here. Also, when we're singing big girl music like this, we have to think about a big girl sound.
Okay.
So when I talk to my husband back there, I don't go, hi Duncan, right? I go, hi Duncan, right? Now how do we do this, right? We all know Thomas Hampson. We all know how Thomas Hampson speaks. Right? Julia Child, they all speak like this, right? With a bit of a lift in the palate. Now why do we do that? To create space here in the palate. And to give the sound a bit of a dome, to give it a bit of a round. Yes, not necessarily space, but it just gives it more of a color. And by doing that, and filling that dome, hi, I'm Thomas Hampson. When we do that, try that for me. Or, hi, I'm Julia Child.
Hi, I'm Julia Childs.
Do you feel that there's a relaxation here? But there's also a lift in the soft palate.
Okay.
Like you're yawning. Hi.
Hi.
You
Yes.
feel that as
Yes.
opposed to hi.
Right.
And as English speakers,
Yes.
we have a tendency to mash our placement, right? Yep. So we have to think, especially when we're singing in Italian, the vowels are very tall. Yeah? So what we need to do when we take that breath, think about sniffing a flower, Like, oh, that's such a beautiful flower. Now when we sniff that flower, not only do we get this dome here filled with air, but we also get that relaxation down, right? So, like a yawn, like you're just about to yawn, as opposed to
Okay.
So can we try that? The preparation of the breath, once again, 90% of singing, preparation of breath. Come scoglio. Very tall. I want you to think of it as more come, A-W, instead of O.
Okay.
Can we try that?
Yeah.
Great. Let go of those. Here, right? Let me. Calm it. Not call. Call. Yeah, read it. Yeah. because we think when you have temperament, right? And where am I holding it here then? No, temperament is here, here. I hate you. Do it. I hate you. I hate you. When you come down,
Yeah.
same place. Yes, that is a huge difference, and this is the problem with this aria. It's very but it has to be I hate you. That's going to be your new friend with this, because you have to see where that comes from. It comes from the pooch. So what is the lowest note? A, la. A, la. Now when we're going into that, it's not full chest. That will be dangerous.
Okay.
Because full chest, you have to use very wisely. And in this aria, you have to look at the whole aria. And you just touch it and then you come back out. So it takes a second to come out of chest. I would recommend voix mixte.
Okay.
So how do we find voix mixte? We go up.
Okay. Question.
So,
Question.
yes?
Also, would you tend not, I mean, yes, about the chest, but also because of the style?
Exactly.
Or
It's not in the style. That's more Puccini.
Okay.
That's or Vidismo. And it's not needed because it's not a huge orchestra. It's a Mozart orchestra, right? And if we do it the right way, you won't need to push that much to get the sound out.
Okay.
So where does the voice resonate? Here, not here. So do for me. So grit the teeth. So you feel that now? And that is voix mixte.
Oh my goodness. Okay.
Yeah. And is that just as big as when she did before?
Yeah.
Wow.
Probably
Less is more.
absolutely, because that is a passaggio. So we have to narrow that instead of that's like avanti a lui tremava tutto Roma. I mean that's like right. You don't need that in this. And also if you have voix mixte and if you have it resonating here in the front, it's going to carry more because you have more on it. See how narrow it is here, but it's huge here, right?
Yes.
So that's, and then when we go to, once again another passaggio. Not because it's conserving the breath. Does that make sense?
Yes, absolutely.
And the jumps.
Sure.
So say, yeah, sure. So how are we going to do this? What are we going to do?
Start with I hate you.
I hate you, and that does. I hate you. Right. Ah. A little higher. I went to the cryptic G. Do you feel that is?
I do.
Yes. Does that feel more whistly?
Yes.
Yes. That's way back there, isn't it?
Yes.
Yes. That's called the hard palate. Welcome to the hard palate. Yeah, knock it here. So there we go. Try that again. Just start with a and then just sing it for me.
Okay.
instead of gripping it and thinking, so it's contraiventi, all one line.
Okay.
And where does it come from? Each note. I hate you. Does that make sense?
Yes, absolutely.
I think you need to
Yes.
try this. When you're singing. And don't worry, you have to, sometimes we just have to work on things. And it might not be the best noise, but this will help you keep the temperament out.
Okay.
And keep it here, always ah.
Okay.
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 Yeah?
Yes, absolutely.
Amazing!
Thank you.
Yay, great job, you're welcome. Do we have more time?
The ending. So I think so.
Good.
Do you want to look at the bit at the end? Yeah, the no and the. This is where I become inaudible.
Okay,
In
so.
the middle
Do you know
there.
where it goes? Yeah, so remember what I talked about? The chin down and back. Do you feel that?
Yeah.
Oh, you feel a little bit like a fool, you know. By doing that, if you can think of a kazoo, you know how kazoo goes, no, right here. Think of pitching the sound right here. Like a Don't let it, try to keep it in that head voice for now.
Okay.
Because if you slam into the chest, that's where you will become inaudible, because chest doesn't resonate in many ways the same way as resonating here.
Okay.
Right?
Do you want to
So-
start on the one?
And all this, I hate you, still I hate you, but it's all one line. And you know what, for me, sing it with a little less.
Okay.
Little less. And when you go down into that four mix, think of throwing up, to go up with it instead of down. Good?
Sorry.
Try for me a little bit more, thinking of a box.
Pavarotti box?
The Pavarotti box. I want you to think of it, especially you have your stature. Wide for you is definitely better than this way because of your face size. So think of it more as like this. The breath in. Slide all around.
Is it eating dessert?
To be a total Renee Fleming. I mean,
Okay.
just go for it. Yeah? Keep it up. Now you feel how it didn't,
Yes,
and
it
you
didn't.
and it all was in one place. So now go.
To the middle.
And keep it in that same place. Now try it again. Start with the next half.
Dropped it.
No, it's, you feel that now. You can
Oh,
feel
I
it.
feel the drop. Yes.
No. Each one. No. You feel that?
That's what you mean
It
by
feels like
throwing
throwing
up.
up.
Okay.
Do it slow. No. Yeah. Let's just do the second half. Yeah, that. No. Do you feel it? No. Each one. No. And you need even more there because that's past the passaggio now.
Right. Okay.
You have to go up even higher. do we keep the middle voice in tune? Is here. Right? You need a split second for that to vibrate. You see what I mean? Instead of shoving it there,
Yes.
think about each one. That's why I want you to do the portamento, because you'll put the air with it first before.
Okay.
Well, one more time, can we try that a little bit? No, me. Do it on a knee for me. Do you see what you do? You see how you didn't then drop it?
Yes.
Let it go. Think up this way more. That's where it goes. It's so high.
Yeah.
It is. Because it's the same as where that high C goes.
Yes.
It's all the same place because they're all passaggios. And all the passaggios registrate the same. We just try to make it more complicated than it is. So it's really shallow here, but huge here. Almost with my mouth closed. That's it. That's the place. Now it takes time for those muscles to grow and for it to come in. But that's the way into it, as opposed to, I need to make, oh my God, I need to make more sound. What am I going to do?
Right.
You know?
Pedal to the metal.
Exactly. And actually going down in that passaggio, we have to take the foot off the gas to get, because it needs time to go into that, as opposed to, I'm just going to shove it in there. And that's what I say when I'm throwing up with air. It allows it to naturally go into it.
Okay.
Yeah?
Yes.
Good. Is that 20 minutes? Are we good? Yeah. Yeah? And think of this thing for sure.
Okay.
Fabulous.
Thank you so much.
You're welcome. Yay! Next. Oh, anything I think, right? Any questions? I don't write yet.
I've heard of a hook coming from the belly button, and I'm just wondering if that's more just for males that it would be higher up, or if it should be lower.
Always the same. Always right way down in the pooch. Pooch singing, I call it, to be PG rated, right? There's other things that we use, but yes, pooch singing, belly button is going to cause you, to get a little stuck. One can also think about the diaphragm dropping when you take the breath in. It's kind of like a seesaw ride here in a little bit. Does that make sense? So when this comes in, this kind of pops out, and it's a constant dropping of the diaphragm. That it's not major. It's not. I overemphasize it a little bit here when I'm showing this, but it's this constant picking up of the air, of the line, of the breath, so that it's always activated and the line is on breath as opposed to somewhere else, which is so easy to do because when we get temperament on stage, when you're playing Scarpia or whatever, you know, and then you're stuck. So we have to find a way to transfer that temperament into the singing and keep it active and buoyant, because if you get stuck, then you're stuck for the rest of the line. And there's ways to get out of it as well, you know, by movement. I did with one of you, you know, if you move, and you can do that, you're allowed to move, you know, we don't have to just stand there, you know? Any other questions?
Yeah, I'd like to ask, you have the most glorious pianissimos.
Oh, thank you.
Is it an oo vowel that you've done a lot, or, I mean, it's so glorious, and
No. No, it's taken me 47 years to figure out the
Yeah,
slides off.
you wonder.
No, I didn't do it on any particular vowel. I found it's more for me in a whistle tone, that hung position. That's really how I first found my high and soft singing. And when my voice teacher at the time told me to mark a line, and she said, "Oh, just sing it really soft," and I found, wow, okay. So if I did, it's the same amount of breath pressure, and it's in the same position. It's just we as singers assume that the throat is, we have to close the throat in order to sing softer. It's just a natural instinct, but it isn't. It's actually, we have to widen it, a constant widening, and we have to use more air in a way. And Caballé would say the same thing. Marilyn Horne has said the same thing to me. It's a speeding up of the air, not necessarily more, but it has to keep vibrating faster in order to keep those pianos spinning. And I actually think that there's a little more space this way when I sing high, and soft. But everybody's different. I found my way through it, and I think it works. Yeah, it's a hard thing learning how to sing soft and then high and soft is quite difficult. Yeah.
But you have to have the equal amount of support.
Correct.
Pianissimo, yes.
Absolutely.
Yes.
The support never changes.
Yes, right.
The
I call
support.
it the skeleton exercise.
Yeah. Exactly. Well, it's always the same support, but it is the difference of the movement of the breath, I think, and the breath in the mouth. I always think of like a little bit when I'm singing high and soft. There's a little bit of a cup of air, I would call it, in the mouth. Little that. Now what that does is raise the soft palate and allows that high and soft to spin up here in the soft palate and gives it more room to spin. That's how I think of it. Not everybody does. But that's all the singers that I've talked to about high and soft, and as a young artist I talk to them all and pick their brains and say, okay, how do you do that? And it took me until my 40s to really learn how to do it, so it's not something that comes overnight, as you all know. So yeah, sorry.
Oh, I have a question.
Sure.
Around singing, you're very fit. Are there any exercises that you really like, or something that you would avoid?
That is a very good question. Yes, I think as singers, cardio is very important for us, because what does cardio do but works the lungs, right? And if we want to expand our lung capacity and our dynamics there and these muscles here, I think cardio is very important. Also, to coincide with that, the core. I find that Pilates, doing planks, is very good for the core. I find yoga counterintuitive with the breathing. I find yoga breathing, I don't know if some of you have tried that, I find yoga breathing very high, whereas Pilates I find is more like singer's breath. And I've said that to yoga instructors and they said, you're right. But I also do planks, and they're dreadful and I hate doing them, but they really help hook into the core. I personally believe that singers should not do weights, and if they do weights, it should be just very small amount of weights, no hardcore lifting, because when you lift, what do you do? And so I've seen so many singers go hardcore lifting these weights, and the voice goes smaller and smaller and smaller. That's only my opinion. Others of you might disagree, but small weights, fine, as long as when you're doing it, this is all free, and you're not gripping, or you're not holding in any way the neck muscles, or clenching on your jaw when you're lifting weights. My opinion only, and I always preface it with that, but yeah, absolutely. What we do is very physical, and nowadays even more physical, because they want you to stand on your head and do jumping jacks and roll around and lie on your back when you're singing. And if you're conscious of where that core is, where you're hooking into the support, you know, I had somebody yesterday interview me, and he said, well, how can you sing on your back? And I said, well, singing on my back is great because I have the floor to lean against. And he said, oh, I never thought of that. But it's nowadays it's not just the look, but it's very physical what we do. And I did a production of Tosca where I had to climb up 4 flights of stairs and then sing. And going, be right with you. You know? So yeah, I think it's very important. Sorry, you had a question. No?
Oh, well, we're talking technique all the time, which is the groundwork, but then
Sure.
once you've got your technique, there's so much more beyond. I mean,
Absolutely.
but
Absolutely.
that's a whole other world that we.
I know,
talk
and
about.
when I have 20 minutes, I was saying to my husband at lunch, I have 20 minutes and I can talk to you about, shaping this line or shaping that line. Or I could talk about breast support. Which one's going to help you in the long run? And, that's a decision, and it's always a tough thing to do. And in 20 minutes, if I had, hours and hours as you have in
It's
voice
a
lessons.
lifetime of learning.
Absolutely. I still learn. I still coach. My voice coach was just here for 3 days and he left 2 days ago. We're always working. The voice, we're human beings and the voice changes. It's not like we pick up a violin and it's an instrument or a piano. I'm sorry, Rachel. We're human beings and we have emotions. And some days when you read a review and people say, oh, well, Miss Radvanovsky didn't seem like she was on her A game. Well, maybe it was that time of month for me, or we were in a car accident, or my father died, and some days you want to walk out to that and say, excuse me, I've had a really bad day. Give me a break. And you can't do that because it's our job. And so we have to learn how to get through that. And I think that if your technique is solid and you're secure with your singing, that even on a day when you're feeling 60%, you can get through a show. And that's why I feel when I give master classes that I really do harp, and I'm sorry if I harped on technique a lot. If we had another day, then we could have talked about the bel canto line and diction and all of that. But I feel that technique is the foundation, and then you build up from that, So if you guys have any questions, please feel free. I have a Facebook page and I have a website, and I personally answer all the questions, and no question is stupid and no question is too much about anything about technique or anything that I said today. You are our future. You are the future of opera, and we're just here to pass on all the information that we've received from the people that were 1 generation or 2 generations closer to the beginning of the art form. And I learned Electra, the 5th hand servant, not Electra, with Walter Tausig, and the man knew Strauss. And you just sit there and you go, okay. And I said, here, Maestro Tausig, here's my score, and he goes, oh no, darling, no, I know it. And he just starts playing with you. Okay, yeah, you know Mr. Strauss. Okay. So I have that arsenal in my basket, and I want to share that with all of you. And that I think it's our obligation and my obligation as a singer to pass it on, or else opera will be a dead art form before we know it. And you all have the passion and the joy of singing, and it just brings me so much happiness to help you and share along anything that I can share.
We
May
are
I
so
say
lucky to have you here.
Well, Jeannie and I are pioneers of the Canadian Opera Company.
Yes, I
we were
know.
the first Hansel and Gretel.
Yes.
And
I
I
know.
remember there's something I'll never forget. This is very few of you who know. There was a conductor called Rex Battle, and there was this program called Singing Stars of Tomorrow. It was like the mid-audition.
That's where we got the name for the concert.
And he told this story I never forgot. He was older, and he studied with a much older man who had been a pupil of Mozart.
See?
And this one was the greatest pianist of his time. And the pianist said, Rex, 40 seconds to play, 40 years to learn.
Absolutely.
And I never forgot that one.
Absolutely. And he was 1 generation closer, and he had the information right from him. So
the pupil of Mozart.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
That's how it's passed down. And unfortunately, I feel nowadays that we're playing a bit of a game of telephone. and that we're getting further and further away from what Garcia and all of these older teachers were teaching. And this telephone game is kind of breaking up, and I feel sometimes that breath support and technique are being swept under the carpet. And I want all of you to sing until you don't want to sing anymore, not until you can't sing, or and that is my goal, and that I feel comes from technique, which was taught to me by Martial Senguer, who was, the old generation French baritone, who, Ruth Falcon, Regine Crespin, Renato Scalto, Ranulfreni, all these people that gave me their insight and hopefully is passed on to you. So, yeah. Anything